Serna. I am a site super for Emerald Systems. I am the person on site during the construction process who oversees all the subcontractors. I got the call from Elizabeth and I was like, oh cool, like she explained the position a bit and I was like excited to like hear more about it. I communicated quite often with Elizabeth. She was very attentive. She communicated everything really like well, specifically broke down the details of the company that I had applied for, and then also went into in depth with the type of work that I'd be doing, which kind of helped me better in my decision making. But I felt was just like comfortable. I felt really comfortable. She made it like really easy to like just have the conversation. It wasn't, you know, sometimes when you have an interview, like you feel nervous and all that stuff. And I just felt like Elizabeth made it really comfortable to be able to talk about my experience, my qualifications and all that. And like she bridged that gap between me and the actual company there. And then even with the people from the company that I was interviewing with, she kind of just like made it easier for us to flow and kind of like get information and kind of just see where each of us stood. I had accepted an offer with another company, and I sent an email out to Elizabeth like, oh, thank you for the opportunity, but I've gotten an offer from another company. I'm really comfortable with that offer. But she kind of like asked me, oh, you know, what was it that they were offering? Like, can you? And I kind of told her, and she was like, well, I think this other company can do much better, and I think, you know, like, you should follow through with the interview. And when we did follow through the interview, they came back with an offer that was like amazing. Like I was taken aback from it, and I think she had a big part in like keeping me interested and keeping me involved, and then in the end actually like negotiating more on my behalf with the company, and it just worked out great for me. I think it's nice to be able to like have somebody there through the process. Like currently did the 1 week check-in, and I know we have a 30-day check-in and 90, but it's good to like know that okay, somebody will be checking in and knowing that, you know, they kind of helped me get into this position and they're still interested in figuring like how it's going. Not like, hey, we got you in, we did our part, like release you into the world and figure it out. It's cool to have like somebody there still like, okay, we're gonna check in. How are you feeling about the work? How are you, you know, how is the relationship with the company, with the personnel? So it's nice to have that, you know, to be able to have like, I guess, a third party of somebody who can like, maybe if there's an issue, I bring it up to her and she can like kind of bridge that gap between that and like, you know, not make it so like aggressive as maybe I would. Sometimes people go intimidated into interviews, but I felt like the way that Elizabeth came about everything, it just made me feel so comfortable. I did a bunch of other interviews, and the only interviews that I felt like not anxious, like I felt really cool, calm, was the interviews with Elizabeth involved. Yeah, obviously interviews are like you trying to sell yourself for a position, and you know, like if it's just directly to whatever, like I had some interviews prior to dealing with Elizabeth and it was like nerve-wracking a bit, you know? But like I felt like it was easy to talk to Elizabeth, and I knew she wasn't like the direct hiring person for the company, but like I knew she was involved, and it's just speaking with her just kind of smoothed things over. It just made it so much easier. So I think there's so much value in that, because having somebody going in comfortably, they can like give you all their qualifications. You guys can have a better conversation where like the person in the hiring position can make a better choice of candidate. So I felt that being in that process of looking for work can be really overwhelming, and I didn't feel that like when I was doing the interviews with Elizabeth, and like once we got to like the company with Emerald and Elizabeth being involved, it just felt like I was talking with people that I had known for a while.